Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Coronation Street star Sally Ann Matthews teases dramatic ending of Stephen Reid's story. Coronation Street's Jenny Connor faces terrible danger in Stephen Reid's final episode on Friday evening, October 13. Jenny and Sarah Barlow will both fight for their lives following Stephen's decision to return to Weatherfield for a dangerous showdown. With the police investigating him, Stephen had hoped to make his getaway, but discovered at the airport that his passport was missing. In Friday's action-packed visit to the street, Stephen lies in wait to confront Jenny for stealing the passport and thwarting his plan. The tense scenes take place in the boarded-up Rover's return, as Jenny and Sarah both make their way inside. As the situation escalates, Stephen bashes Sarah over the head with a bottle, while Jenny angrily demands answers about the crimes that the villain has committed. In one last desperate act, Stephen threatens Jenny with a broken bottle and holds her hostage. Will Jenny and Sarah make it out alive? Will Stephen secure his freedom? Or will D.S. Swain finally get to make her arrest? Sally Ann Matthews, who plays Jenny, recently caught up with Digital Spy and other media to preview the big episode. Jenny didn't listen to Carla's warnings at first. She thought Carla was just having a moment, and that Stephen had done nothing wrong. Stephen has only ever been supportive and kind to Jenny. That's because he loves her, and he hasn't had an ulterior motive with Jenny at all. Things changed when the net started closing in on Stephen, and he mentioned moving to Thailand straight away. Jenny started to realize that maybe what Carla said was right. Jenny tested the water and self-preservation kicked in. She suggested delaying going to Thailand, but when Stephen mentioned finding a new bank account, she started to think, he does want my money. I think she has flashbacks of what her dad did to Rita. Jenny had that moment of loss, and it was the same for Stephen when she wanted to delay their move abroad. Stephen went to the kitchen, and you saw his heart broken. I think that was really important, because it was a love story as well. If Stephen had not been such a murderous bastard, they'd have had a really good time together. Jenny is heartbroken that Stephen has done this, but as far as she's concerned, he's a fraudster, and he's after money. She's not aware that he's murdered anyone. She's not privy to any of that information. It's only later that Sarah mentions it to Jenny in the pub, unaware that Jenny doesn't know anything about it. It's a huge shock, and then Jenny thinks, shit, maybe I shouldn't have nicked his passport. That wasn't good. She's khacking her pants and suddenly realizes very quickly. It starts coming together that he was responsible for Leo's death. Jenny wonders how long this con of his has been going on for. Leo has been dead a year, so was this his intention all the time? Stephen did it but was then comforting Jenny about everything. It's a betrayal on every level. It's really cleverly done. Delim and his dodgy friend have been in the pub messing around, so Jenny feels confident to go in there. It's only later that Sarah mentions that she thought she saw Jenny in the window upstairs, but Jenny hasn't been upstairs. She thinks, oh, hang on, I love that moment. Stephen is in the pub, and he's desperate to get away. He knocks Sarah over the head, and that breaks his heart. That sends Stephen into a spin because he loves Sarah, he loves his family, and he loves Jenny. He doesn't want to do this. Jenny is definitely terrified. She does believe what she's being told, that Stephen killed Teddy, and therefore it makes sense that he killed Leo. Then obviously he confesses that he killed Rufus too. I think at that point, Jenny is angry and she wants to get the truth out of Stephen. She doesn't think she's going to get out. Jenny thinks Sarah is dead, and she just wants to find out exactly what Stephen did. She disregards her own safety to get to the truth. Jenny thinks she's a goner. She's not really thinking about her own safety. She just wants the truth. She wants to know why Stephen did it, and exactly what he's done. Jenny sees that is far more important than her own safety. It wouldn't be my first choice of things to do. It's a bit like when we had the sinkhole. I was like, why have they given me this? Just give me a soliloquy. I'm fine with words, don't give me anything to do. But then I absolutely love being in water for a week. I love doing these scenes too, even though I didn't go to theater school, and I don't know how to do anything. If I have to punch somebody, I am likely to punch somebody and do myself an injury and the person I'm working with. Todd Boyce, who plays Stephen, has done a lot of that stuff, and he was amazing. We had brilliant stunt coordinators too. When I was in it, I did kind of enjoy it because I had to do it. I was knackered. It was the longest day to process for various reasons, but I did enjoy it. It's a bit like saying that I did the Manchester 10. I really enjoyed it, but I don't need to do it again. Obviously it's a soap and you can't live happily ever after because there's no drama in that, but then there is a lot to be said for characters having long-term, established relationships. I think what happens in all soaps currently is that you get to see a little bit of them getting together, and you don't see any of the day-to-day relationship stuff, and then you see when they split up. It's the same either whether it's a romantic relationship or any other kind of relationship. We seem to be in an age where, theoretically, audiences demand entertainment, entertainment, entertainment all the time. Everybody's fighting for figures but don't invest in relationships. The joy of Corrie is that because of our history, you've got long-term relationships. Those scenes with the Platts this week are just joyous because you know the dynamic. You see Audrey telling Gail off, Gail telling someone else off, and so on, and we've seen that for so long. That's the joy of a show with such a long history like ours. The more we see that, the better, and I think the audience will get greater enjoyment from it. What I'd hate to see soaps fall into the trap of is just going from story point to story point to story point and not investing in the relationships. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.